here we are once again with another shave interview in Head Shaver Balls Presents. This time we are being blessed with the presence of one head shaving Wesley Allen. Thank you for participating today. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I don't know if the word is blessed or cursed, but it's one of those.
We'll find out by the end of the video, I believe.
we sure will.
I mean, I can already tell you I feel a little cursed because it is freezing in my house. 60 degrees. I think it's maybe 65 degrees outside. I'm bundled up and
where do you
I'm
live
sitting
again?
outside right now.
Where do you live again?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like 30 in the mornings here, so.
Yeah, it was 39 degrees this morning, so that's why
Yeah.
the house is so cold. I rode the bike into work yesterday, and I was
Yeah.
in full leathers, and it was about 46, but it was drastically more cold today.
Sure, yeah.
So while we're doing this interview, you are going to go through the routine of shaving your head, which will be good for people to see. And what are you using to shave with today?
Well, I know it may come as a shock to some of you, but I'm using cat.
The good old-fashioned scent of cat. I love that stuff.
So somebody had posted about the difference between the CK6 and the original formula. And I've always liked the original formula. I could lather it better, all that. And Douglas said, you got to add water, you got to add water, you got to add water. It'll bloom itself if you add the water in the right amount. And so I figured I'd been loading the brush too much.
Yeah.
So today's my experiment. I loaded it for 15 seconds. And now I'm just going to do the water and see how I can get that lather going. And
well, I will tell you, I've noticed that the newer soap formulas do get a little bit more gummier if you load more than you need and don't load enough water. Now, when you load that much, I mean, you can make a lather to shave your whole body and your wife and your neighbors.
Sure. and I'm used to just loading a ton of lather into my brush, and so I'm not used to these newer formulas, and it's throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, because I know for a long time everybody's mantra was load it like you hate it.
Load it like you hate it. Yep.
And just sit there for a minute going through the whole method. Yeah. Nowadays, you do it more than 30 seconds, and yeah, you're overloaded.
Yeah, and see, that's something coming back into wet shaving for being gone for 2 or 3 years is the new way that things are happening is not the same as the old way.
Right. Yeah, there's been a lot, I guess you would say, innovation in shave gear, hardware, software. I mean, there's been a lot more premium soap makers. A lot of the melt and pours from a few years ago. And so, I mean, we're in a good state. You would think that maybe at some point they were always talking about a soap bubble that eventually it would burst and it wouldn't, or I guess it would be a wet shaving bubble. Eventually it would burst and there wouldn't be as much interest. But honestly, I mean, it's lasted how long? How long has wet shaving been going on? For a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
So that's not something that we're going to see go away.
Right. Yeah.
Just be more innovative. Like you've had your innovation of your magneto walls with your.
That's right. That's right. They're hidden behind Stanley over there, but.
Yeah, you're in the shave office today.
Yeah.
Shaved in. You should go through and patent that and start selling them.
I should. I think it'd be cheaper just to buy a metal plate and stick it to your wall rather than buying something that I put my name on. But
I mean, it would be, but it's more beneficial to you to have the name on it and then everybody pay you to do it, right?
Right. Yeah. It was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the butt doing it.
Did you go through the whole process of finding studs, or did you use drywall anchors?
I used just construction adhesive. I glued them to the wall. Oh, you glued it
on. Okay.
Yeah. So my thought is that when we move, we'll just advertise it as there's decorative plates. You can put magnets. You can put little sayings on the wall. And hopefully people don't ever watch my videos and they don't know what the real purpose behind it was.
That's all right. That's all right. It's nice to see though that, you know, ideas are getting shared like that and more people can benefit from it.
Yeah, it was fun. There was a few guys all at once that had suggested it. Brom did, and Conrad and a couple other guys. And I was like, yeah, I could try this. And so I just ran with it, and it worked out really well. So saved me a room on my shelf. Now I can buy more brushes.
There you go. Now I've gone to the more frugal side of, you know, acquisitions, so I don't have as much gear and as much. I still have a bunch of razors, but I have like maybe 10 brushes and probably about 10 to 15 soaps. So
sure,
space isn't as much of an issue for me. And I got a 4-tier shelf, one of those that goes over the toilet where I keep all my gear.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to show that to anybody because it is so it's just totally unorganized. When I pull stuff up, I don't put it right back in the same place. I knock stuff over because I'm so clumsy. I've broken brushes. I've broken razors.
Yeah, that's it. And I was getting too crowded, overcrowded, and so I was like, well, this works out great with the magnets and everything. So it's helped me. It's given me a lot more room to show, because I had stuff like on my windows. I still have stuff on my windowsill, all on my counter here by my sink. Like it's still overloaded, but it's a little more organized, I guess.
Yeah, a little more table space now.
Yes. Yep.
That's cool, man. So, what are some of your favorite scents? I know you're using CAD. Is that one of your favorites?
So CAD's like my go-to. Like if I have and people know this, my favorite scent is barbershop scent. I love it. Mm-hmm. It's a in my mind a masculine, cologne-y, good scent. Like when people ask me, well, what's this scent? What's this scent? I'm like, it smells good. Barbershop is my scent.
Yeah.
But I do not, I go like a barbershop scent, and then I can get into a little bit of woody or floral, but the sweet, fruity scents do not appeal to me. They don't, I don't know. I think of like, when am I going to wear this? When I wear this out and I walk past somebody, are they going to smell that I just left the produce section, or are they going to smell a cologne or a gentleman's smell? And that's what I go off of.
Right.
Now, not that it's bad, but it's not for me.
Yeah, and I generally I agree with that, but I got a little bit more expanded palette, if you will, for scents. I do like aquatics.
I don't know what people say aquatic, and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Think like cool water scent. What's another aquatic that's very familiar? Chromazaro, I think, was aquatic. That was real popular. The Beach by
The Beach, okay. Mm-hmm.
I believe that's an aquatic. So it's got like ozone and some type of, you know, I can't even think what the other scent is in it. Salt water.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
I like those. I like you know, your classic barbershop scents, especially if it's got oak moss in it.
Sure.
I like tobacco scents.
I like Z-Pep, green tobacco.
Yeah.
I like Uncle John has a pipe smoke scent, and I haven't tried it. I haven't smelled it, but I have smelled have smelled some soaps that are like a smoke scent versus a tobacco scent, and I prefer the tobacco scent. I really like Z-Pep. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one that was a cherry tobacco scent that wasn't bad, but like you say, it was a little too fruity. The
Yeah.
tobacco was there, but the cherry was really too strong for me.
Yeah.
I know other scents I like. I like citrus scents a lot because that's just a real classic
Yeah.
clean. When you hear somebody smells soap and they're like, "This smells clean," I can't explain it, but it smells clean.
Sure.
A lot of times that's going to be citrus scent. I really love that sharp, crisp scent of
Yeah.
citrus.
Yeah.
And
I think another thing with the scents is like the nostalgia, like
mhm.
it, like Immortal Peach or whatever. Like when I was a kid, the town on the other side of the mountain, they did Peach Days as their weekly celebration for the city. And so,
Yeah.
and that was a town my parents grew up in. So peach smell has always had something for me. So a peach smell would be more attractive to me than a cherry or an orange smell, because the relationship between the peaches and my memories type of thing.
I get that, and I was going to mention pine scents. I really like pine scents and bay rum scents because that's something, same way nostalgic. I can trace that back to my personal history of
Yeah.
family members who've used that, or locations I've been in that
Yep.
has
Yep.
that connection with olfactory and memory that just it brings you back.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a lot of, somebody had posted, the clubmen, it reminds them of their grandpa being in the barber shop. And it's like, that's a classic old school barbershop scent. And I think that's why a lot of us wet shavers like it, is because it's just, that's the barbershop. When
That's
you
what you
think
grew
of
up
the
smelling when
barbershop,
your grandfather came back home.
Yep.
That's what you smelled.
Yep.
Looking
Yeah,
pretty
those are
sweet.
my
I got a
scents.
dog crying over here. If you'll hear that noise over us talking.
You're good.
All right. So, what kind of shave setup do you do when you do your lives? For anybody
Say that
who
again.
your shave setup, your
Sure.
whole process there, because there's a
So,
lot of people that have that question. I want to do a live, but I don't know how to set it up.
sure. So my setup, like I'm trying to remember if I've had this setup since I've been shaving. I think it's been this same exact setup or similar. So let me get this on, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll pop my camera off. Well, maybe, I don't know this background if I can.
Why don't you do this past? I'm going to show you what I use and explain to you what I use, and then you can show us what you use.
Sure.
So at first, on my motorcycle, I have what's called a ram mount, and it's basically holds your phone in 4 prongs with rubber bands around it,
Okay.
so that you can have your phone mounted to your handlebars. Since then, I've changed, and I bought this squiggly thing that can move
Oh, sure.
and mount my phone there, and it's got like an alligator clip at the end of it, and then I could just mount this on my sink, and there, I get it down on the screen, put my phone in there, and I'm set and ready to go. And I actually haven't done a live since I've got it, just because I've been not feeling so great, but it was pretty cheap to get that set up.
Sure.
On Amazon, I probably got about $15 invested in that.
Yep. So I'll have to send you, I'll do a video after this and send you that video. But mine it's similar. It's a car mount. But mine's a suction cup. So you suction it to your windshield, I guess, and you put your phone in it. So the suction is super strong. It's pretty strong, I should say.
Except for the time you duct tape it down.
Well, that's different. The suction's fine. The suction cup is fine. There's a max. So there's the suction cup that hooks to the mirror. Then it's actually for a GPS is what it is. Then there's a magnet, huh? And I have a metal plate on the back of my phone, and so the metal plate sticks to the magnet, and that's how it works. So my phone is magnetized. So if I pull my phone off here, it's the metal plate stays on my phone, and then I can just slap it back on, and it's magnetized. The problem, it's super strong, so it stays suctioned to the mirror. The problem is if it gets too dry, that suction wears off. And I've come home a few times and the suction cup has been in the sink. One time my phone fell off of this into a sink full of water.
Yeah.
That was tragic. And with the duct tape thing, the adhesive that I used to glue the metal plate to the back of my phone, that adhesive had just dried up and popped off. So I had to use duct tape, and it wasn't the greatest video.
So speaking of greatest, yeah. Speaking of greatest videos, what for you makes a entertaining or worthy to watch shave video or live video? Because there are a lot of people that do shaves. I don't watch as many anymore because at this point it's like cookie cutter. You know, there's a lot of people who are monotonous, a lot of people who are just not interesting. So for what is interesting, or what will keep you coming back?
So for me, the people that I go to all the time, their level of, like, Mel is a good one. His level of excitement, no matter what he's using, he is a step above in the excitement, and that makes me excited. He's not just monotone like I am. He's just excited. Things like, I'll see Chris Bailey do a video, and he's usually like, he's the first person. He'll do a video, do a soap, do a razor review. He'll do it, and then you'll see like 5 people after him do the same soap and same review. And it's like, well, I watched his, I don't need to watch those. Like original stuff. Like for me, I have the same soaps, the same brushes. Like my shave gear is not something that anybody may or may not want to come back and watch again, because it's all the same stuff. But hopefully my talking points, my excitement, my humor keeps people coming back. The thing about lives that I've noticed since I came back, live shaves is a thing, and it wasn't before, is when people are watching and if you're watching, you need to comment. You need to say stuff, because if I'm shaving and Taylor's watching, but he's not saying anything, it's just me talking. But if Taylor starts talking about motorcycles, starts talking about football, starts talking about, whatever, then we have a conversation, and then other people can join in the conversation. It's not me shaving, it's the conversation that makes the video for me.
It's more interactive.
Yeah, that interaction, like I don't care who's shaving and what they're using necessarily, but the conversation. I want to get back on there and talk about, the latest brush that Quinn made, or how so-and-so's family member's doing, or that type of stuff. Like, because that's the brotherhood in shaving that we all talk about. Well, these live shaves are ways to do that. The product I don't care about, it's the people that I care about. So that's, if people are considering doing a live shave, I don't care what you're shaving with. I don't care if you're using a Mach 3, or whatever. I don't care the razor. I don't care if you're using canned goo and your fingers to spread it on. Of course, we're going to tease, but I want to know how you're doing. I want to know what's going on in your life. I want to know what your people are, what people like for example, up for a shave Dave, he jumped in on one of my lives, and we were talking about the riots that have been happening and just how he's doing and how his life is, if he's being safe, if he's being okay, because we care about him. It's not, I don't know what I was shaving with at the time, and I guarantee nobody else knows what I was shaving with, but that relationship is what makes the video, not the shave products.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting you mentioned that. You used the word specifically brotherhood. And I was reading a post about a guy that used to be in a motorcycle club. And he, obviously that's another type of brotherhood. And he was talking about this, what really makes a brotherhood is when you actually have interest in another person's family. I mean, it's not only for him, it's not only, going out to ride together, but it's, are you showing up for, my family's events without me having to,
Right.
Invite you, or are you, if I got an emergency going on, are you checking in on me, trying to find out,
Right.
how everything's doing? So that, the same way Ronnie feels, the same way I feel, the same way you feel, we want that type of camaraderie
Right.
within this Head Shavers Ball, because it makes a great environment to, be able to talk to people and be able to have a good time. And also for some people, it may even become a lifeline.
Right.
Especially
right.
with
And
all the events going on.
That's a good point. Like we had, I don't remember what it was the beginning of last month, but Ken had a family member who had committed suicide, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And it was, he's like, I just need a distraction. I need a break. That's why I'm watching the video. And like, people were reaching out in that video, let us know if you need anything. It just, the hard part is for me is sharing my personal life with people, because we grew up in a world where before, when we were kids, everybody knew everybody cared about everybody, and then somewhere it got to mind your own business, I'll mind my own business, leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. But we come to these shave groups to do that, to get back into the human interaction. Like, I care about you guys, and I would hope that you guys care about me. So without sharing all my personal life, if I need, support, I need something, I need to be able to throw that out there and trust that it'll be caught and carried respectfully. And I think it will in this group. I think out of a lot of the groups that I'm part of, this is one of the top 1 or 2 that would do that.
And the good thing about that is, when you get a lot of divisive conversation, a lot of divisive attitudes within a community, it makes it where you don't want to share on a personal level, because
right.
you feel like somebody can use that as ammunition against you at a later date, And
that's why
it takes a lot of the human feeling away from it. Yeah.
And that's why, the rules in this group are no religion, no politics, because people are free to have their opinions and their worships and all this, but those things are just so divisive, and they should be unifying, that it's just like, let's leave that out. Let's talk about family. Let's talk about shaving, sports, motorcycles, other things that, because in motorcycles, people are going to be like, well, I ride or I don't ride. They're not going to be like, well, motorcycles are bad for you. And this, well, some people do, but generally not. In the sports, it's very clear. I'm a 49ers fan, and, Dave is a Baltimore Ravens fan, and it's that sports.
I'm just going to stop you right there, because that's very divisive, because I'm a Bengals fan.
Right.
Ravens is automatically our rival, and the 49ers is our rival, because the only 2 Super Bowls we've been to, we lost against the 49ers. So let's change the conversation.
This conversation is getting
it's a low blow, man.
but that it's just the arguing actually brings you closer together. In politics and religion, it doesn't do that, and so we don't talk about that in this group. And I love that on my personal page, I can talk politics and religion all I want, and people can argue with me or not. But in this group, it's just it. If we get into that, then we're going to be like all the other groups out there, and it's just going to be a mess. And people, I've had a handful, 5 to 8 people tell me like this is their favorite shaving group because we don't do that. And that's the point.
Yeah. So where you see other groups where they're trying to be like a barbershop environment, this is more like a dinner table environment.
Sure.
Sure. We want to have peace when we're sitting across from each other and enjoy dinner and laughs and, or that moment to have, time where we got to console each other, comfort each other, whatever. This is supposed to be an oasis within everything.
Yeah. And I like that. And we can still have our opinions and our differences and love each other and hate each other, but we come back here because this is a safe, unified place to be. And yeah, I like that. I appreciate that. There's so much garbage going on everywhere else. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in that all the time. I have to be in that at work. I have to be in that at the grocery store. I have to be in that. When I come to this group, when I do my live shaves, I want people to come and be able to feel like that weight lifted off of them, and just I can relax. I can watch Magneto shave. I can watch Redbeard shave. I can just relax, and I don't have to do or say anything special. I can be myself, and that's
a moment
awesome.
to breathe.
Yeah.
And then make fun of you for bleeding.
I did not cut myself today too, though. So
that's good. I did cut myself today. I don't think you can see it, but I got myself really good right there.
That's why you're wearing such a big hat.
I'm wearing the hat because I'm freezing to death still.
Okay.
So, as we're talking about this, the vice of this, we can look back probably the past 5, 6, maybe even 7 years and see that there's been a shift in the dynamics of the group, where we may have seen a pinnacle in the Facebook shave groups maybe 4 years ago, in which there were shave meetups happening all over the U.S. and in other countries. And we're not seeing that this year because of what's going on, but even last year, it wasn't something that was as featured. I didn't see as many announcements for that. Sure. Why do you think there's been the change in the dynamics of the group as far as, the way it was then and the way it is now? And how can you explain the differences between then and now?
Sure. So I started shaving. My very first shave video was in January of 2014. That's when I started wet shaving. And I shaved for, I did like YouTube videos religiously and followed the groups for 3 or 4 years. And then I got out. I've been gone for about 2 years, and I just came back in the past few months. And it was a big like culture shock coming back. Like, I think back then there was only a couple of shave groups. There were very few rules as to them. It was just basic. Well, the few rules were just shaving. It's just shaving. We don't talk about anything else. We talk about shaving. It's like, okay, there was that family and camaraderie, but you had to seek it out. Like in the Head Shavers Ball, it's off, it's open, it's a free invitation. We are a family in this group. So now whether I want to be your personal friend on Facebook or not, that's different. But in this group, we're a family. And back then it was, I felt like personally, it was more, it's shaving, and that's what it is. Now, there's more groups. Groups are more specific, like the Head Shavers Ball. There's a couple other groups that are you feel free to talk about religion and politics on this page. Just do whatever you want. this page has stricter rules, this page has no rules, and there's just a lot of just noise out there. And I think people are doing this because their personalities didn't fit in the cookie cutter molds of these 4 or 5 groups that were there before. Now it's
so you're saying like birds of a feather flock together. So people who have, similar interest and similar beliefs are congregating in certain groups. And then you got, I always refer to one big group that is the barbershop group that everybody's in. I'm not going to name names because I'm trying not to, point anybody out.
Sure.
But there, it seems like, it's a political group because you got the two sides, the two factions who are always arguing each other. And people come in there and they're always like, I thought this was a shave group. You guys never talk about shaving. And then one of the few times that you see a post up person was always saying, forgive me, this is a shave post, but here this is. And those type of posts really don't get any traction. But if you got something that's talking about the current president or the past president, you'll have 150, 300 comments on that.
Right.
And, I think that in part that divisiveness has to do with, the current state of the shave union and the current, prevalent attitudes within the shave groups and people wanting to have their opinion as the top opinion. And,
and I agree with that. And we, growing up, grandpa and grandma, it was like, you're respectful to people. Like, you can have a different opinion, but you're talking about it. You're not arguing about it. And if you're arguing about it, it's done. And you're going this way and you're going that way. And we're not. And now it's just like, it's just stuff piles on top again and again and again. And it's just like the initial point gets buried under all this other junk. And it's just exhausting to me. Yeah.
Statistics, means, and bullet points. That's all it is.
Yeah. So it's just like, and even back when we had those groups that were, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way, you had the group, and then in this little corner, you had these people talking bad and pushing back and pushing the boundaries. And it's just like, and I think that's where we had, 5 groups back then, and now there's 20 groups because everyone that was in their little cliques broke off and started new groups. And it's just like, those groups, were not about shaving and are not about shaving anymore. They're about everything else. And it's like, and I'm part of some of these groups, and it's like, I go there for the humor of things, but I come back here because I can't stay in those groups for very long. I just want to be able to talk shaving, be able to talk sports, be able to talk about, hey, my family's going through this, can you guys keep me in your thoughts and be comfortable saying that. So it's like it's just like the world. You go out and you're with your friends and you're with your rowdy people, and you come back home. You come back home to feel again. But that sounds sappy and mushy, but I mean it's how it feels.
I mean, it's human nature. It really is. We all need it, regardless of how strong and masculine we are, or how much wood we can chop, or how much weight we can lift, or how many things we can kill. We still need that. We need to be able to unload that weight that we always carry as a person in society. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
I lost an arm. Oh, there it is.
There.
All right. So you're also, speaking of killing things, you're a hunter. You mentioned a couple years of experience for big game, a little bit more for upland bird.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Do you ever do trap shooting?
No, I should, but my brother and I will go out and shoot around, and I'm good then. But in any type of like competition, when it means anything, I'll miss 100% of the time. I'm bad. But it's like hunting though. My brother breeds bird dogs, so He and I go hunting every year, once or twice a week through the bird season. And you know, he'll shoot multiple birds, and I'll get to shoot at a couple and usually miss. But that time is family time, is time for me and my brother. Growing up, we were separate. We did our own things. We weren't friends. We weren't anything. But now we get that. I look forward to it. I would like to think that he looks forward to spending that time with me. It's more about the hunting than the killing, I guess you could say. Just the time being with him. I've only been big game hunting a couple of years, just archery too. I have never rifle hunted. It's only been archery. A guy I used to work with got me into deer and elk hunting, and I've been doing that a couple of years. And I haven't had anything close enough to get a shot off. I use a traditional recurve bow instead of a compound bow, so you got to be even closer. And that's been harder for me. But again, it's that being outdoors, being out in nature, being with friends and enjoying their company type of thing.
More about the process than the results. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to shoot an elk. I'd love to, you know, shoot every pheasant or quail or
bring home the game and whatnot.
Grouse. Yeah, that would be awesome. But you know, just walking and talking with my brother, seeing his dogs work, like that's they're the athletes and we're just reaping the rewards type of thing. But it's the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, the journey is the enjoyable part a lot of times, or part of the enjoyable part. So my company was just acquired by a company out of North Dakota, and as I was reading through the paperwork, they had mentioned something about annual trap shoot, and we had a Q&A yesterday, and you know, somebody asked about ice fishing. Well, they're actually out of Minnesota, not North Dakota. Somebody asked about ice fishing, and I'm like, oh yeah. So they talked about ice fishing for like 10, 15 minutes. And I'm like,
sure.
So I read on the paperwork about trap shooting. Is this an actual thing, or was it just used as a fictitious example? They're like, and the CEO of the company just stopped, and he was like, do you trap shoot? This is for real. He's like, if you're good, you're on my team. And somebody in the other corner is like, no, he's on my team if his handicap's over or whatever. And I'm like, I actually just started. I don't even have a trap shooting gun yet, but it's something that, for me, it's a type of sport that anybody can enjoy. A little bit costly if you do it a lot. Because I mean, last time I went through 100 shells like it was nothing. And, it was a blast. So I'm actually going to look at again the over/under shotgun to go out and do that.
Yeah, it's fun. Like we had a couple of guys in our neighborhood. We went up and it was Thanksgiving 2 years ago, and we did a trap shoot. And then it was, you know, the best score got a turkey. The second best score got such, and you know, we did like a Thanksgiving meal were the prizes. And it was pretty neat. It was just fun to get out and just, you know, you make fun of somebody for missing and they make fun of you. And
so what did you win? Cranberry sauce?
I did not win anything. Thank you very much. Because let me find a good excuse. Hold on. We all did so good that I let them have what they wanted.
There you go. There you go. That sounds
good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Hey, so we got some big things happening in the next couple of months.
Sure.
We got the head-to-head shave battles.
Yeah.
So far, you are the only person I think that's signed up, and I'm going to sign up to go against you. We got to get more people in on that. So maybe we can do next week. Maybe we can do a preliminary test run of that. Do it live together, and we get people riled up and have people make fun of us and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's the idea is there. I think people are overthinking it though.
Yeah,
The
I think
idea
so.
is to do something fun.
Hey, I
Oh,
lost you.
I lost you. Hold on. I got a phone call.
Ah, okay, there you go.
There. It went away. Um, we'll edit that out.
I will leave it in there. It was your nicest. You were reading
Um,
on us for a second.
I think people are, oh yeah, people are overthinking it. Like, I enjoy shaving. I like the feel. I like the smell. I like that. This is not about the shaving. It's about having a fun competition just to see who can do it fastest. It doesn't,
And
it's
it's not
not gonna,
necessarily about the race and about winning as much
right.
as being efficient and trying to get a good shave quickly, but still
Sure,
make it enjoyable because we don't want somebody to go through and potato peel their whole head.
sure, right. And just having fun. Like, we're gonna get nicks or we're not, and it's not about just a smooth, clean, cool 15, 20, 30 minute, or in Conrad's case, an hour and a half shave. It's
Yeah,
about just a fun thing. Now, people like Quinn who have their big scar on their head, like that's not gonna work for him.
he may still be
But
Conrad though.
well, maybe, yeah, probably. But it's just, and those people don't have to participate. But I feel like it's just another excuse for people in the group to get out and have fun and do something with each other without being able to be with each other,
Yeah.
you know.
And so
So
I'm thinking we can probably do this the first time we could do it in the shave room. That way everybody can have video up and, everybody can be
sure,
live mic'd and, ridicule us and whatnot. We want it to be instantly active and we don't want to have to be distracted by trying to read comments or miss
sure,
people's
yeah,
comments.
yeah,
So I think it's the innovation on Facebook to have the rooms, which is really
yeah,
similar to the way we're doing this meeting on Zoom. It's great. I don't know if we can record the rooms to save it for posterity.
sure,
It would be great
yeah. I
to
don't
do
that
that.
I don't know, but if it could be, if it needs be to do a Zoom, and then just repost this, I don't know, but maybe do it. Maybe do a live, and then people in the comments can talk to each other, and the people in the shave can just shave, and I can focus on shaving and talking, or I can focus on reading the comments, and it's going to slow my time down. And
I think it'd be better though if everybody could just hound us and be
yeah,
like, "Man, you missed the spot. That's nasty."
yeah,
So it makes you stop and think about what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So another big thing we got going on in November, we are going to release more details later. Let's just say, but we are going to work on some giveaways. That's
Yeah.
going to be coupled with actually participating in either Movember, but participation monetary wise in donations, and also a charity which will be to be determined.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we
So
want to
that's
take
gonna be really
advantage
cool.
of the month of November. Everybody's starting to think about getting in a giving spirit beginning in November. We want to take advantage of that and have people, look to places where they may have not given money before and maybe give a little bit of money there. And
Yeah.
we will announce the charity in which we want people to contribute to, or the Movember account that we want people to contribute to. And we'll give details about the giveaway and the levels of giveaway we have. So
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, this group is a giving group. Like, we're giving people, we want to take care of each other. And
right.
it will be good for people all over the world that are in this group to give to a cause that we feel is important to us and should be important to other people, and give a little bit of yourself to, for someone else is
And
what it
I
gets
feel
down
like we
to.
want to make this an annual thing. We want every
Mm-hmm,
November.
mm-hmm.
I mean, even if it's as little as $1 or $5,
Right.
we want to be able to say, "Hey, I'm giving this money to make somebody else's, a stranger's life a little bit better,
Yeah.
or maybe to help improve another person's life due to research or men's health issues, or
Sure.
whatever charity that year is being chosen. So,
Yeah, and it's good. Like I've got a couple things that I'm donating. We're talking to some other people about getting some donations. Like it's gonna be a cool big thing. It's not gonna be some little rinky dink thing. Like it's gonna be awesome. I'm super excited for it.
yeah, me too. I think it'll help once again build a little bit more camaraderie
Mhm.
within the group, but it'll also, help build generosity and push other people to be a little bit more
Yeah,
generous. At least that's what we're hoping.
yeah, right,
And we don't want to pressure anybody who doesn't have the means, because we know it's difficult economic times for a lot of people.
right,
Um,
yeah,
but if you do have the means, we want you to participate.
sure, yeah, yeah. I like it.
Very good. All right, so this will come to bring us to a conclusion. I want you to
Sweet.
have a great weekend. It's been awesome talking with you, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's been fun.
you are like, if I'm top in the group, you're still below me. No, no, but for real, you are definitely embody and personify what Head Shivers Ball is all
I
about.
like that. Yeah, yeah,
And I am glad to have you in the group. I'm glad you made
yeah,
a comeback to wet shaving world, because
yeah,
we need personalities that people can come to and feel that sort of peacefulness
yeah,
with,
yeah,
and be able to share with. And
yeah,
regardless of what we do on our own personal time, as you
yeah,
were saying, we can have our own personal opinions, but within this group, we feel more bonding because of the lack of those opinions being pushed onto other people.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
even within this group, we're still going to have our own opinions,
yeah,
and we're not going to take our opinions or our beliefs and push them onto other people, as you said.
right.
And you know, anybody who is on one side of the spectrum or the other side of the spectrum can appreciate that within the group, and you definitely embody
Yeah,
that. And I really appreciate
yeah,
you.
thank you. Yeah, yeah, buddy.
All right. So
Okay.
well, I'll get this video uploaded here soon. Hopefully everybody enjoys it. We want to say, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know when videos come
Mhm.
out. Right now we're only doing once monthly, but who knows if that's going to be more often. And
Right.
thank you for being a part of Head Shavers Ball. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you, Wesley Allen.
Yes, sir. Thank you.